Hey guys, it's Kay. Today we are making these super cute graveyard tombstone cupcakes. These are great for any occasion, so if you want to learn how to make these, just keep on watching.
So you're going to need some cupcakes. I chose chocolate. You can use your favorite recipe, a cake mix, whatever you want, but you do want some cupcakes. You're also going to need some of these Milano cookies. Today I have the milk chocolate one, but there's several options that you can choose. You're going to need some crushed up Oreos. I crushed these in my food processor, but if you don't have a food processor, you can just put the Oreos in a sandwich bag and whack the heck out of it until you get some fine crumbs like this. You're going to need some white chocolate that's melted. You're going to need some milk chocolate that is melted. I'm using Candy Melts here today, but you can use regular chocolate if you like. You're also going to need some powdered sugar, some cocoa powder, some milk, some vanilla extract. You're going to need some butter. And then as far as for the utensils, we are going to be making the chocolate icing here today. I'm going to use my stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, but you can also do this by hand or even with a handheld mixer. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a spatula, a knife, and also some scissors and a Ziploc bag. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the tombstones. To get those, you want to take your cookies, you're going to take your melted chocolate, and you're going to dip most of it into the chocolate. This is going to make the tombstone to be black, I guess, or brown. So we're just going to dip each cookie into it. You can brush off the sides and the back if you want to take some of that chocolate off, and then you're going to put it on some wax paper to dry. These, in order to have them dry, you can stick them in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes or on your countertop for about 30 minutes and they will set up. So I'm going to dip all of mine here. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to get them all dipped and then I'll be back to show you what we're going to do next. So while you have your cookies in the refrigerator, having the chocolate to set, we're going to work on the cupcakes. This is very simple. All you want to do is just take a knife and put a little slit in the cupcake, just like that, if you can see it, right here. That's just going to make the cookie be able to go into the cupcake a little easier. That way you're not forcing it. So I'm just going to do this for all of my cupcakes. And by the time you're done with this, your cookies should be hard enough to move on to the next step of the tombstone. So our chocolate dipped cookies were in the refrigerator for about 5-6 minutes, and now they're completely hardened. So what we're going to do now is work on the little RIP that's going to go on the cupcakes, or the tombstones, that I think it's going to be very cute. So all you want to do is just take a Ziploc bag, open it up. Take your melted white chocolate, pour some in there carefully. And then now what I'm going to do is just cut the tiniest tip off of it. Get the chocolate flowing that way. And then what you want to do is on the top right, you just want to write little RIP. Take your time with this and practice. If you're not careful, the chocolate could go everywhere. A good thing you could do is just practice on the wax paper before you put it on the cookie. But I'm going to finish all of my little RIPs here, and then when we come back, we're going to make the icing. Alright, so now we're going to start on the chocolate icing. What you want to do is put your butter in the bowl, or the bowl of your mixer, whether it be a stand mixer or a hand mixer. The point is we are going to cream the butter. This butter has been sitting at room temperature for quite a while now. It is super soft, as you can see. You can squish it and the package just melts or squishes. I don't know how to explain it. You want to keep your butter at room temperature for a good hour, 2 hours. You want it to be very, very soft. So also in the stand mixer, you want to go ahead and add your sifted cocoa powder. You're going to put that in the mixer and let it cream for a good 2 to 3 minutes until it's all mixed and incorporated. You want to make sure that you stop the mixer in between and scrape down the bowl. You can see how just velvet-y this is. It's very well incorporated. So you just want to keep going with that. But I'm just going to scrape down the bowl and put it on to mix for just a few more seconds, maybe 30 more seconds or so. All right. So I'm going to scrape down my paddle attachment here. And then I just want to show you the consistency. It's just very velvety, very nice and rich. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so we're going to put this back on the stand mixer. And now we're going to start to add our powdered sugar. You don't want to add all of your powdered sugar at this point, maybe about half. How much powdered sugar is really just going to depend on the consistency you want of your icing. I want mine fairly thick because I want my crushed Oreos to stick to it. So I'm going to put about that much. I'm going to let it go. While I let it go, I'm going to add my vanilla extract and let it mix on low speed until it's pretty combined. And then I'm going to check the consistency and go from there. All right, I'm going to scrape down my bowl. Right now, it looks like chocolate fudge. It is nice and thick, but you still are needing to get it to mix. So I'm going to just scrape it down. I'm going to add some more of my powdered sugar. I'm probably going to end up adding the rest of it. Also, too, you want to add your powdered sugar in stages, just because if you turn the mixer on with all that powdered sugar in, you're going to have a big old cloud, and we want to try to avoid that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mixer back on. This time, I'm going to slowly incorporate my milk. All right, so my icing reached the consistency that I'm looking for, nice and velvety, and just looks so good. As you can see here, it's nice and thick but creamy. So what we're going to do now, and if you have a little bit of the powdered sugar still in there, don't worry about it. I didn't want to incorporate too much air into this, so it's completely fine. If it bothers you, you can put it on just for a little bit longer, but for me, it was fine. So I didn't end up using all my milk. As I said, it's just going to vary on your preference. So what we're going to work on now is putting the icing into a piping bag. If you do not have a piping bag, you can also use a sandwich bag. Just snip off the tip of it and put your icing in that way. I have these just because I do quite a bit of baking and I work with icing a lot, so I have them on hand. But if you don't, just use a sandwich baggie. If you are going to be using a sandwich bag, though, just keep in mind that they are a little bit more delicate, so just be careful when you're piping that you don't put too much pressure on the bag. All right, so we have our icing in there. What I'm going to do is clean up a little bit, and we're going to assemble the cupcakes. Now we're going to go ahead and assemble our cupcakes. First thing you want to do is grab your cupcake with your slit already in it. You're going to take one of your cookies and poke it in the hole. Poke it in the hole. Then you're going to take your icing. Like I said, I just put it in a piping bag and I cut the tip off. You really don't have to be precise here, so you don't have to use a piping tip. If you want to, you can, but it's really not that big of a deal. As you can see here, all the icing is going to be covered with the cookies anyway to resemble dirt, so it's completely up to you. But all I did here was I took the piping bag and I wiggled it back and forth. And then I made one big loop around. Just like that. Now what I did, and this part gets messy, you want to take your clean hands, take a chunk of cookies here. I have a coffee filter for easy cleanup, but I'm just going to hover my cupcake over the coffee filter. I'm just going to dump all those cookies on there. I'm going to pat it down, get the cookies on there, shake off the excess, and then I'm going to go back into the cookies. This time what I'm going to do is hold the cookies in my hand and go around the cupcake and push on the icing so that the cookies stick to it. If you run out of cookies the first time around, just grab some more until it's pretty much covered. You don't see any more of the icing and it's really just cookies now. Or should I say dirt. Once you have everything covered, you want to shake off the excess. We don't need any access to anything. You just want to push it into place. And then there you have it. You're going to just continue to do all of your cupcakes that way until you are done. You can keep these at room temperature. I would recommend, if you're going to be making this for like your kids' Halloween party, or even just a regular Halloween party, that you just make them the night before. I wouldn't make them too far more in advance, just because. So there we have it, guys, our Tombstone Cupcakes. I think they look really good. They're easy to make, but they look professionally done, and you can take these to a Halloween party, an office party. You can make these for your coworkers or even for your kids' class Halloween party, if they still have those these days. But that's all we have for today. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, guys. Until next time, bye.